Okay, Rizz, here we are at first base lesson. The first thing I want to emphasize is starting position, that for everything we're doing this week, it'll behoove you to get all four fingers ready on all four frets, including paying extra attention to making sure that your third finger isn't too far this way, that it's actually, it can be right in the middle of the fret, anywhere but right on the fret is going to sound good. Seems like pinky, no problem, middle finger was working, but either way, why don't you just right now in your practice at home, just wrestle your hand into that position around the 5th fret or something like that, and just pause the video and try playing some notes just out of sequence. Doesn't even matter what you do, just don't use the wrong finger. If you want to use that pentatonic, the first thing we did, the first thing on the page, you can do that. Just be sure not to switch to your pinky when you get to these two strings, especially this string. It's going to be really tempting. So it's pinky, then it's just all index ring, index ring, index ring. Cool, at this position. Really quickly, before we work on that exactly, the pentatonic, we talked about how when you're down more around the 2nd fret, our hand naturally bunches up, and that moving your elbow away from your body, which is something that everyone does at first to anchor in and feel like they have a sense of control over their hand, doing this really new thing like playing a musical instrument, that there you go. It'll still feel like it's way over there and not as easy as when you're at the 5th fret, just straight like this, and that's why we're playing at this fret, just to give yourself a little easier time with it. But go ahead and just move back towards like the 2nd fret position and just do that elbow moving around thing. And that'll come up again when we switch to the one song we worked on, Pink Floyd Money. So why don't you just and the more you can make yourself actually just reset mentally and go to starting position, it's going to save you time. It takes a lot of self-discipline because you're really used to just being able to grab it and play. But that's going to be your saving grace. It's just boink, 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 and I start playing. Cool. So looking at the first thing we talked about, this A minor pentatonic, which if anybody's ever we're playing a blues or something like that, this is the scale to play, and chances are you'll find your way to the right notes. But either way, yeah, so we're going index then pinky on this string, and we want to not seesaw. That's the whole trip. It's going to feel like I'm pushing down one finger, now 2 fingers. And the next 3 strings all go on the dots. 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. And try to, extra spread these out where you're not in jeopardy of accidentally running into the fret, which might be uncomfortable, but as soon as we pointed it out to you, you were able to do it. People overemphasize being on this side of the fret. As long as you're not literally on that fret, you're cool. Anywhere right around the middle, the same sound comes out. So you get to there. Great, so, just pause the video, please, and work on that. What we're going to go for, rather than going up and down the scale, is just one good attempt where you're consciously focused on what you're doing, pretending there is no concept of rhythm. It's not a song that goes... It's just, this is just your chance to work on this hand movement. So when you're initially doing it, just play really slow. If you can't just randomize the amount of time between notes, take 5 seconds or something. But either way, no guessing. Consciously make yourself actually do it. Even if you have to pause quite a bit, it's all good. Again, we talk about stage 1, memorization, learn the dance steps, and then stage 2, playing, feel. And that's the biggest difference. That's what I'm emphasizing right now is that first stage where you're really consciously focused on what you're doing and you're just going over, this is what I'm going to do when I switch to my playing headspace. And if you can use that for everything that you learn in the future, you'll move through things quicker. It's very tempting to move on prematurely because it's so much more fun to go play in rhythm and stuff. But just allow for that stage where you introduce the material to yourself. And for most people, If you just do it 2 more times than you would naturally be inclined to before moving on to trying to add rhythm and so forth, you'll find yourself moving through it pretty quickly. So let's get over here to right hand, where we talked about, and I don't want you to worry about that much about your right hand this time. It's straight cleaner. Thumb on the pickup, fingers straight. One of the ways that we tone control and keep extra noises from ringing out is with this hand movement, where if I just went, I naturally mute this string when I come to it. So if I'm going, it sounds like that rather than when we're in this position, which is exactly what you do on guitar for the opposite reason. On guitar, we want it all to keep ringing out. Over here, we just want single notes and so forth. So your first 2 finger decisions for when you use which one seem really good. So just there's your new position. So please now pause the video and just work on playing in that position. You can use the text from today or just throw your thumb over the top and play anything, but just focus on doing it that way. So your fingers are going to be straight and it'll be more pushing in towards the instrument with some up, not just up, up, up like that. So that's how we do things like, and make it sound like that, not, which is how guitar playing sounds. So right hand, there you go. And only try to get the right hand and left hand techniques working together today at the same time if that's happening naturally. Otherwise, we could kind of think of it as a fretting hand focused week, since that's the biggest project, is evaluating what you're doing over there and whether it's going to work to change up. Cool. So the other thing that we did on that, so stop work with what we just did. Back to that A minor pentatonic, we decided that what I meant by one good focused attempt is just go up to the top and then not come back down, reset, do it again until it starts to feel more natural, then start going up and down the scale. It's just the order of operations. You want to stay consciously focused so that you're building lasting muscle memory. Like, I actually am internalizing this, not I'm going to take the test then forget it. So it's really easy to drift into the guessing headspace. Just take however long it takes for each note. And when you're coming back down, when you start to, again, just really slow, then it should feel like I'm pushing down 2 fingers, now 1, 2 fingers, now 1. Cool. The next thing we did to force the issue with technique was doing hammer-ons on the way up, where we're just picking each string 1 time. And again, no pinky, your pinky's only playing that note right there, and it's just all these 2 fingers. And don't worry about your right hand technique at the moment unless it's feeling natural to switch to the technique we've just introduced right hand wise. You can just do whatever right now. So hammer-ons on the way up. Please pause your video and work on that. The thing to focus on again is making sure you're actually spread out enough with your ring finger, and we're doing this up around the 5th fret where it should feel comfortable versus down here, I mean. Great. And then pull-offs on the way down. We're not going to go to be allowed to work on. Now we're going to start there doing these pull-offs, and that really shows us why we're not going seesaw, seesaw. And if you ever had trouble getting a pull-off to sound, it was probably that it was like, and you weren't actually fretting, versus you needed to like pluck the string or something like that. So there we go, we got great. So pause, work on that, take a long time, it's all good. Part 2, major scale. My first finger's at the 4th fret, so I'm going to be going 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is our A major scale. It starts with your middle finger on the bass string. All the other strings are going to start with your first finger. So it's like middle, then pinky, index, middle, then pinky, index, ring, then pinky. So there's only 1 ring finger. No, we like that. And there's notes you can play up on the high string, but we're just going to do the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do part. I'm playing in this in rhythm because I learned how to do that at some point. So again, try to force yourself to consciously slow down and not seesaw. It's like I'm pushing down 2 fingers, I'm pushing down 1, now 2, now 3 fingers, as though at any moment you might have to come right back down the pattern. I know you get the concept. So work on that. And it'll be extra tempting to play in rhythm right from the beginning because we've heard our whole lives. So just try to slow it down and play it at, focus headspace, and then switch to going up and down. It's the same process. I'm going to want you to just do this and go back and do it again. And when that becomes easy, or something that you've internalized, then start coming back down the scale as well. I'm by no means saying we don't come back down the scale, just order of operations. It's best to just get the hand movement down and then start going back down from there. Cool. The one song we did was Pink Floyd Money, and now we're down around the 2nd fret, making a power chord shape, which is, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, and I'm using 3 fingers for that, and this is us. Try to spread out as much as you can. Remember the elbow thing. I'll try to duplicate how you'll feel. So that's actually a chord. You're just going to push down the whole thing and go. Cool. And then the rest of it is super easy. But what we want to focus on when you go to the easy part of it is not bunching your hand up and returning to old technique, but keeping these 2 fingers ready to strike, staying right where they know they're about to do this. You could literally pin them there, but it wouldn't really work at that note. So you're going to do something close to that. Just try to have them hovering there. And again, rhythm, not important right now. When we're playing a song, going to be tempting to play it in rhythm from the beginning, but really just go over it. So I'm going to suggest you do it in sections that you get comfortable, so to speak, with going, stop, do it again, stop, do it again. Be sure you're spread out. If your hand hurts, take a minute off, or play something else. And then work on where it's going to be really tempting to just play like normal. Whereas what we're doing is trying to keep your other fingers available to you. Okay, so we get... Excuse me. And like we talked about in the lesson, interestingly, that song is in an odd time signature. Most songs are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, recycle. That's the time signature 7, 8. So pretty slick of Roger Waters from Pink Floyd to have written an entire song in 7, 8. That sounds like a hit. Alright, man. Well done, brother. Hit me up with any questions, and I'm going to send this video to you now. Looking forward to working with you in the future. Very well done today. This is supposed to be frustrating. Like I said during the lesson, it's a product of you getting to the point where you can actually work on this, and the hardest part of learning an instrument is realizing you don't just have to add new stuff, but rethink what you've been doing the whole time. So it's all good. Probably a lot of songs you learned before we met, you'll just use your old technique, and in the long run we'll figure out what we're going to do. So there you are, sir. I will see you very soon. It was a pleasure meeting you.